Good morning. This is Faith of Faith and Books. I have so much trouble with lighting. I have this glow right there. I don't know how other people do it. Tell me how you manage to film these without having weird lighting issues. I have a hard time. Anyway, this is Victober. It's a cold, very early October morning. It's Saturday, and I'm going to do my little wide awake. Showing that the right way. This is a book that was given to me when I was 10. I said in my last video, I thought I was about 12, but no. It was for Christmas, 1970, from my Aunt Jackie, who it was very dear to me. In fact, she lived in this room for a year when she was a couple of years before she died. She had to have her leg amputated because of diabetes. And she lived here. She recuperated here in this very room. We turned it into a bedroom for her. Anyway, she was always very beloved to me. She gave me this book in 1970, and it used to have a gorgeous cover of this beautiful Victorian kind of doll with the long curly hair. It was really, really lavish, and unfortunately, I've lost that. But it has this nice embossing on it. And it's a collection. Well, I'll read it to you. It's called Little Wide Awake. Here you can see it's just gorgeous illustrations. It says Little Wide Awake, an anthology from Victorian children's books and periodicals in the collection of Anne and Ferdinand Grenier, something like that, selected by Leonard de Vries. So that's the title page. And I remember just being fascinated with this and thumbing through it. It's just so many gory stories that were meant to frighten children into being good, basically what a lot of it is. It's pretty, just as a sociological thing, it's pretty interesting. So it starts off here with this poem. I'll just read the first one. The Misfortunes of Toby Ticklepitcher. And it has all these illustrations to go with it. But it's about this boy who does terrible, naughty, mean things and eventually dies because of it. So the first one is The Nest. Come here, Jerry Hart, and tell Harry to follow. I know where to get at the nest of a swallow. Up in a corner behind the old mill, the eggs we can eat, the hen we can kill. But the boards they gave way, how very provoking. Instead of a bird's nest, he got a good soaking. The bird flew away, so Toby ne'er caught her, but got in her stead a fine duck in the water. Toby soon scrambled out, then got in a cart with Harry Golightly and Jeremy Hart, then took up the whip, gave the horse such a switch that he threw out poor Toby plump into a ditch. And there's Toby falling in the ditch there. Anyway, it goes from bad to worse. He gets a bulldog that bites a lame man. Let's see what other things. He's playing all these terrible tricks on people. Here he is playing a prank on an old woman. And he gets worse and worse. And finally, he actually drowns his friend, Harry Golightly. And then finally, he falls from a rooftop to his death. So that is the fate of naughty children. And don't be like Toby. So pretty funny. I remember reading this as a child, and I think that's why I have a reaction against anything that's overly didactic, because my soul rebelled against all this propaganda. The Boys' Weekday Book is the next thing. I got to read that one. That's quite lengthy. Again, you can see the illustrations. And again, it's about, look, here we have somebody whipping the boy, older man. Life is harsh, really harsh. Third chapter. Let's get through this. That's a long story. I'll have to read it because I don't remember what it's about. Here, boys having a snowball. And this is fun, March's New Penny Book of Trade. So a lot of these are reprints from a children's periodical called March's New Penny. That's the name. And this is Book of Trades. And this is neat. This also, everything's in a verse. The Turner. Joe Steady is clever and quick at his trade. You may plainly discern by the things he has made. The boys, as they pass, stop and peep in his shop to admire how nicely he turns out a top. So there's the Turner right there. And then we have the Engineer right here. And then the Blacksmith right there. The Mason. I found this interesting. They have, I think nowadays we call a bricklayer masons, don't we? But they have Mason, and then the Baker, and then the Bricklayer. See that? I don't know how well you can see all these things. And then the Carpenter, the Painter, the Cooper. Yeah, there's the Cooper, the final page, the Cooper, and the Basket Maker. So, pretty interesting stuff. All right, I will stop there, except here's this, occasionally they have colored stuff. Here we have, a little boy falling into the ocean. Is the dog trying to save him? I think so. Anyway, pretty neat stuff. I really treasure this book, both because my aunt gave it to me, but also because it's such a charming and unusual peek into Victorian life. So that's it for this edition of Little Wide Awake Saturday, and I will talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.